Hello everyone and welcome back to our kitchen. For today's recipe, we're making the ultimate beef barbacoa in the Instapot. This is a quick and simple recipe that can be prepared in less than 2 hours. So if you would like to see how to prepare this, continue watching this video and let's get started. Before we get started, we're going to go over the ingredients really quick. First thing you want to do is you want to thoroughly rinse your meat, especially the ones with the bone in. Those get cut with the saw in the butcher shop, so you want to make sure there's no small bone particles remaining on the meat. Once it's well rinsed, we're going to transfer it to a large bowl. We're going to use 10 pounds of chuck roast. I have a couple pieces with the bone in and a couple pieces without the bone. You want to add a couple pieces with the bone in so it can give it that extra flavor. For peppers, we're going to use 5 to 6 dry chipotle peppers and 5 to 6 Chile Morita. 1 head of garlic cut in half, 3 to 4 bay leaves, and about 1/4 cup of dry epazote. If you can't find the dry epazote, you can use the fresh one. 3 cubes of beef bouillon. Salt and pepper to season the meat. For the amount of meat that we're going to be making, I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of coarse salt and about 2 tablespoons of black pepper. You can use more or less depending on your liking and your needs. 2 tablespoons of cumin, 2 tablespoons of dry oregano, and about 4 to 5 whole cloves. We're going to start out by cutting our meat into about 3 to 4 inch pieces. This is not only going to help it fit more comfortably in the Instapot, but it's also going to help it cook a little bit faster. As we're cutting it, we're going to transfer it to a large bowl or container, similar to this one, large enough to fit all the pieces comfortably and move them around once we season it. The bone-in pieces, we're going to cut those last, and we're going to trim off as much meat as we can away from the bone. If you can't get too much away from it, don't worry too much about it, because once it's done, the meat is going to fall right off the bone. Sprinkle half of the salt and half of the pepper over the meat. And using your clean hands, move the meat around to get the salt and the pepper mixed in. Add the remainder of the salt and pepper and move the meat around once again and set it aside. In a large pan over medium heat, melt 2 tablespoons of lard. If you can't use lard, you can substitute it for vegetable shortening. Once the lard is nice and melted, we're going to begin to sear the meat. We're going to start out with the bone-in pieces. Once they're lightly seared on all sides, we're going to transfer them into the Instapot. And we're going to continue with the rest of the pieces until we're all done. Now that they're all lightly seared, we're going to begin to prepare the paste. Using your blender, or in my case, I like to use my Ninja because it's very convenient and handy. We're going to start out by adding 1 cup of water to the blender, the 3 cubes of beef bouillon, the peppers, the Chile Chipotle, and the Chile Morita. Once we have all the peppers in there, we're going to add some of the seasonings, the cloves, the cumin, and the dry oregano. Blend on high for a good minute or 2. Once it's done, you should have a nice thick pasty texture. Add it to the Instapot and using a wooden spoon or a spatula, spread it over the meat. The head of garlic that we cut in half, we're going to place it over the meat face down like this. Add the remainder of the pieces of the garlic, the bay leaves, and the epazote. Place the inner pot back into the Instapot, place the lid, and make sure it's tightly sealed before you program it. Program on manual for 60 minutes. Once you set the timer, it should take a few minutes for the release valve to set into place. Before you remove the lid, you want to release some of the pressure from the Instapot. Make sure not to skip this step, otherwise it can cause serious injury. Once all the pressure is released, remove the lid Here it is, all this goodness. I wish you could smell this right now. It smells amazing. Fish out the garlic, the bay leaves, and the epazote and discard them. Using a skimmer spoon, scoop out the meat and transfer it to a pan, preferably one with the lid to keep the meat warm once we transfer all the meat. As you're transferring the meat, you want to remove any visible bones. As you can see, most of the bones have very little to no meat left on them, which is going to make it very easy to spot them and remove them. Once you're done transferring all the meat into the pan, add a few spoonfuls of the broth over the meat to keep it nice and juicy. And now it's time to make some tacos. Add a generous spoonful of the meat to your favorite corn tortillas, and for toppings we're going to go with the classic cilantro and onion. And a taco is never complete without your favorite salsa. Enjoy with a few slices of lime and radishes, and don't forget your favorite beverage. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it for you. And if you're new to this channel and would like to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button so you can receive notifications each time we upload a new video and you don't miss out on future recipes. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much, and I'll see you in our next video. Thank you so much for watching.